forgotten. Thank you.
We now have statements from Congressman Frank Pallone and Congressman Robert Andrews.
Good afternoon. My name is Tony Sidhu, a Falun Gong practitioner, originally from India. I now stay in the US in Boston. I am reading out this statement of Robert E. Andrews, Congressman from New Jersey. Dear friends, I am proud to be a strong supporter of Falun Gong practitioners around the world, as well as the efforts that have been put forth to alleviate the oppression to which the Chinese government has subjected practitioners for years. Though little has thus far been achieved in terms of efforts to persuade the Chinese government to halt its depraved persecution of Falun Gong practitioners worldwide, public awareness of this plight has reached new heights, thanks largely to the tireless efforts of individuals such as yourselves. It is because of your actions that individuals and governments alike are being forced to acknowledge the detainment and otherwise inhuman treatment of your peacefully practicing counterparts, and I am hopeful that through your continued efforts, we will one day reach a point where the Falun Gong is embraced as a valuable part of Chinese culture. Since learning of the atrocious conditions to which the Falun Gong are subjected, I have supported efforts to force the Chinese government to halt its harassment of practitioners and called upon members of the administration to incorporate the matter of the Falun Gong into their discussions and dealings with the government of China. I firmly believe that the actions of the Chinese government constitute a flagrant disregard for human rights and thus will continue fighting for an end to the unjust imprisonment, torture, and murder of Falun Gong practitioners across the world. Again, I applaud you for your efforts on behalf of such an important cause and urge each one of you to continue your work to end the horrific persecution of Falun Gong practitioners. I look forward to the day when your work will no longer be necessary and promise that I will continue my support of your cause until that point is reached. Sincerely, Robert E. Andrews, Member of Congress.
Hello everybody, my name is Scott Chin. I also practice Falun Gong for the past 5 years in New York City. Through this practice I've gained immense health benefits, mental clarity, general happiness, and it's just a wonderful practice. Yet in China, our friends who also practice are persecuted, thrown in jail, tortured, and murdered. So the reason why I came here today and everybody else is because we want to call for an end to this persecution. If we were in China right now doing this, we would be thrown in jail. So everybody, I think we should really appreciate the freedom we have here in America, and also our government officials here in the U.S. who've given us so much support. So I'd like to give a round of applause for all the government officials who've given us support here in D.C. and around the U.S. It's an honor to read this statement on behalf of Congressman Pallone from New Jersey. I would like to express my support and admiration for the practitioners and adherents of Falun Gong who have gathered here today. Although I regret being unable to attend in person, please know that I'm invested in the movement both in the United States and abroad, and I am committed to the task of making Falun Gong safe to practice in any country around the world. I'm sure you know the members of the Falun Gong are opposed by the Chinese government. The members of Falun Gong are opposed by a Chinese government that unjustly views them as dissenters. This view is entirely without merit. In reality, Falun Gong is an inherently peaceful apolitical movement that stresses nonviolence and meditation. Since Falun Gong was outlawed in 1999, hundreds of nonviolent practitioners have been arrested, tortured, libeled, and detained without charge or proof of any wrongdoing. Sadly, the unwarranted and unprovoked aggression against Falun Gong has not ceased nor is it limited to China. There have been unprovoked attacks in the United States, and Falun Gong members have been subjected to a humiliating and degenerating blacklist. One incident that I found particularly offensive took place on June 23rd, 2003. Falun Gong members were attacked and beaten while holding a nonviolent protest in New York City. In an effort to end the discrimination that confronts Falun Gong practitioners, I wrote a letter to the Manhattan District Attorney, Robert Morgenthau, requesting an investigation of this case. In addition, I am a co-sponsor of House Concurrent Resolution 304, which staunchly condemns China's human rights abuses, calls upon the Chinese government to grant Falun Gong members the freedom of religion and assembly guaranteed to them by law. Your friends in Congress are working hard to pass this important piece of legislation. As long as the persecution of this movement continues, I assure you that I will continue to fight it and to work for the equality and respect the movement so rightly deserves. Thank you.